Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports is something that we don't talk about. My name is Dyl and I am very excited for today's episode because I am here at the 36th Annual Virginia Film Festival covering it for Fantasy Filmball. And this year, it looks super exciting. This will be my 5th year or maybe 6th year attending the festival. I've seen many great movies here, including Best Picture winners like Parasite, Best Picture runner-up like The Power of the Dog, as well as some of my favorite movies of the last few years like Waves, Close, EO, the list goes on and on and on. And the lineup this year, it looks great. The opening night film, which I will be seeing tonight and talking about at the end of this episode, is Netflix's Best Picture hopeful Maestro, directed and starred by Bradley Cooper, co-starring Carey Mulligan. It looks so good. That cinematography is on point. Throughout the rest of the fest, I will be seeing some other movies I've been raving about all year long. May December, Natalie Portman, the man, the GOAT himself, Charles Melton. We have Ava DuVernay's Origin, which will be having its U.S. premiere right here in Virginia. How crazy is that? I'm gonna get to see a U.S. premiere here at the festival. And then to close out the festival, we have a music doc by one of my favorite musicians working out nowadays, Jon Batiste. He is a Grammy Award winner. He made the music for Soul. He has so many great jams under his belt, and I'm very excited for this doc because it's gonna go in a little about his personal story, as well as some of the struggles he's had to face since winning his Academy Award. So let's get into more of this. One of my favorite things about the Virginia Film Festival is how each year they have such a diverse catalog. Of course, they show Oscar hopefuls, but they also have a wide range of movies, including international cinema. I think every year I've come to this festival, I've been introduced to something that was completely off of my radar, or something that I may have never seen without coming to this festival. Like last year, I had no idea that Close was gonna be one of my favorite movies of the year until Matt had told me, hey Dylan, go check out Close. And then you know what? Close was amazing. The year before that, we had Flea, and going even further back, Parasite was here when, yes, it had won the Cannes Film Festival, but it was on many people's radar for Best Picture. Boom, see at the festival, I'm like, yeah, I get the hype now. Send this thing all the way to the top. And this year's lineup of international features, at least to me, looks very good. We have France's Submission, The Taste of Things, The Pot of Fool. It looks amazing. I probably butchered the saying of that, but it looks amazing. I've heard great things. I know Arno is super high on it. Matt is super high on it. So, you know, we got to complete this Film Ball trilogy here. Watch me love it as well. Perfect Days, the new Wim Wenders is here, and I'm very much excited to see it. I've heard very positive things, but also have heard some negatives, so I'll be very intrigued to see which side of the diet I follow on there. And then we have 20 Days in Mariupol. Currently, it is not on my schedule, but I hope to move some things around to be able to attend that one. It's currently Matt and I's prediction to win documentary feature, and you know, seeing a documentary feature winner early would be very nice. And then of course we have Four Daughters, the hybrid. It's international and it's a documentary. Currently, this is one of the few movies I will have to, you know, hop the standby line for. I have a good 2 hours to be in that line, so I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get my way into that screening. This has been a movie I would have loved to have on my Film Ball team because it can rack up all of those awards points in both of those categories. But you know what? I've heard this movie's amazing as well. At the end of the day, that is what is most important. So, in addition to international cinema and documentary features, another thing the Virginia Film Festival does a great job at is programming movies from streamers. In the past, I've been able to see stuff from Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and that will continue this year as well because I am seeing some of Netflix's biggest movies for the rest of the year. We have Maestro, American Symphony, Rustin, and of course May December. There's some others as well, but those I will not have a chance to see. And then some people will be able to see Apple's Fingernails. Me, I'll not be one of those because the film festival also programs a lot of big studio films as well. Some of these include The Holdovers, Dream Scenario, American Fiction, and Origin. I know I've been highlighting a lot of things I love about this festival, but I have one more thing, and that is the collection of guest speakers they bring in every year, because sometimes they are A-list stars, but they always have to relate back to the movie, and this year's lineup includes a lot of those big names. As I talk about them a little bit, I'll show some of the people who have come here in the past. But this year, we're going to be having Kaiser Hiro, the makeup effects artist on Maestro. He is a 2-time Oscar winner for The Darkest Hour and Bombshell. So as you can tell, he is one of our best makeup designers that we have today. Then at American Fiction, Cord Jefferson will be there. He is the writer-director. Of course, he is coming off of that TIFF victory. So, you know, maybe Virginia is next in his line. And then Ava DuVernay will be here for the US premiere of Origin. I am very excited to hear her talk about this movie and her creative process. One of the producers for The Holdovers will be here. And then I think the one I'm most looking forward to is Jon Batiste will be here in person doing a Q&A as well as a live performance to his film American Symphony. So you've heard me rave about this film festival enough. I think it's now time that we dive into some awards talk. So before I see 13 brand new films at the 36th Annual Virginia Film Festival, we should revisit what my current Best Picture lineup is. As you can see right here, this is my lab with a next few out. And some of these films I will be seeing at the film festival: American Fiction, Maestro, Origin, All of Us Strangers. Sadly, I will not be seeing in the holdovers, and you can see their current placements, and I guess after laying eyes on them, I can now solidify, do I think they are in Best Picture, or are they just on the outside looking in? So yeah, let's dive into some of these Best Picture nominees I will be seeing here at the film festival. Up first, of course, Maestro. Currently, this looks like it could be like a 7-8 nomination movie. I feel like I'm a little bit higher on this movie than most people are. Bradley Cooper, Carey, Mulligan, they seem locked into our leading actor and actress race, if not at the #1 slot. And then original screenplay and director. Currently, don't have those in, but could easily see them make their way up into our top 5. Of course, makeup and hairstyling seems like it could be a winner. Sound, cinematography, editing can all creep their way into nominations. And Maestro, honestly, is probably a top 5 contender in Best Picture at this very moment. The Holdovers is a movie I've been a little bit low on all year. I didn't know if the Alexander Payne controversy would play a role into this movie's release. And I don't know, I just figured we have other comedies, we have Barbie, we have other stuff. May, December. Is the Holdovers for real? But the reactions have seemed like it is for real. Giamatti seems like he should be an actor. A supporting actor, maybe a supporting actress win, an original screenplay nomination, editing, maybe even director. This is solidly a Best Picture nominee. You know, maybe once I see it, I feel more justified with having it out, but I can't be a denier anymore. This has to be in your 10. And of course, we have the big one, American Fiction. It's won the Toronto International Film Festival People's Choice Award, and honestly, it's gonna win Virginia as well. It's gonna be well on its way to a Best Picture nominee. Jeffrey Wright, an actor, maybe editing, adapted screenplay. It's got the package. And then we have stuff like Origin and May, December, which currently don't seem like Best Picture contenders. May, December, though, I could see break into the race. There's potential for above-the-line nominations. Lead actress Natalie Portman, supporting actress Julianne Moore, supporting actor Charles Nelson, original screenplay. The stuff is there, but the reactions to this movie say it's kind of campy. It's kind of just not up the Academy's alley, but that sounds like right up my alley. But of course, I am not the Academy Awards. And then we have Ava DuVernay's Origin from Neon. Neon sadly has other stuff. I don't know why I said sadly. Neon, they got bigger players. They got Anatomy of a Fall, and they got Ferrari. Do they have room to campaign Origin? My mind says no, but this movie has its fans. The people who love this movie really love this movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if it couldn't make a solo screenplay nomination, but picture seems a little bit out of the question. Now, I talked about Origin, so it's only right that I talk about Rustin as well. Rustin's case to make Best Picture is solely on the shoulders of Colman Domingo. If he is our Best Actress winner, or at least a frontrunner, the movie can get in the picture. Think about The Whale last year of Brendan Fraser. If Fraser was stronger earlier in the season, The Whale probably would have made its way to picture. Currently, Rustin doesn't seem that well liked, so I wouldn't put it in a picture, but if you are someone who has Domingo winning actor, I would at least have this top 12, if not in your top 10. We just talked about Best Picture, so why don't we dive into International Feature next? As you can see, here's my lineup, marked with the stuff I've already seen, plus what films I will be seeing at the festival this year before I lay eyes on them. Currently, I do have the Zone of Interest at my #1 slot from A24 from the UK. I am a little sad that's not here at this film festival, but I am so ecstatic about the ones I will get to see. Perfect Days, 20 Days in Mariupol, Four Daughters. They are all currently in my international feature race, and I'm hoping that after seeing them, I feel even more justified about having them here. And now, you know, we gotta do documentary feature. Cue that lineup in right above my shoulder. And I'm not gonna be seeing as many of these here at the Virginia Film Festival, but currently I do have 20 Days at Mariupol at my #1 slot. Sadly, as I've said numerous times now, I don't know if I'll be able to catch this film at the film festival, but I will be seeing Four Daughters, and who knows, maybe I see Four Daughters and I want to, you know, have it go over 20 Days in Mariupol at #1, or maybe American Symphony, which is currently at my #6 spot, can edge its way up into my top 5. It's been a long time coming since last year. Time to kick off the film festival.
Opening night screening of Maestro, directed by Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper's deeply personal look into the life of the iconic American composer, conductor, and cultural figure, Leonard Bernstein. Thanks again to all of you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Over the past several years, the festival has renewed our commitment to recognizing not only the stars and the directors of the films that grace our screens, but also the extraordinary artists whose work behind the scenes contributes in an immeasurable way to the art of filmmaking. Few film craft masters have done their job as well as this year's Virginia Film Festival Craft Award winner, and we are honored to welcome and give this award to Kazu Hiro, two-time Oscar winner for his work on Bombshell and The Darkest Hours, as well as a three-time BAFTA award winner. And in fact, we may never have had the chance to see Gary Oldman's Oscar-winning performance as Winston Churchill without this evening's honoree, as Oldman said he would only take the role if Kazu Hiro was hired onto the film. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to thank Mr. Jody Trivasa and the Virginia Film Festival, and I really appreciate this thing, especially after I worked on an amazing film and Maestro, and this is a kind of peak of my career, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes, it's quite honestly, I was kind of confused, and I took it serious one time and started to do research why there's an issue. Because I'm from Japan and I didn't know about the history of how Jewish people were portrayed. But our goal was, even though this movie wasn't, it's not the satire or anything, it's about the Lenny. And just Lenny had that look. And we had a respect and love to him, and we just simply wanted to recreate or resurrect Lenny in this film, because it's about Lenny and Felicia, so that was an important point.
So I just got off Bradley Cooper's Maestro, and there are a lot of thoughts. Did I love this movie? No. Was it a bad movie? Not at all. We had heard test screenings that this movie was very boring, and it was a slog where I definitely can see the sprinkles in there throughout, but I did think that Cooper, Carey Mulligan especially, were fantastic in their roles. The makeup done by Kazu Hiro was amazing. I mean, he's a multiple-time Oscar winner, a three-time BAFTA winner. Of course his work would be fantastic. The nose work, the cheeks, the forehead, it all looks so great. The costume work in this movie is also pretty remarkable, as well as the production design, but the real standout of Maestro is the dazzling cinematography. The black and white, of course, was fantastic, but the color scenes also popped and had their own vibrant style. As I mentioned a little bit before, Maestro does have its moments where it is a slog and is very slow and often quite just not that interesting, but there are certain moments, especially for Carey Mulligan, where she gets to shine. In the black and white scenes, she is so youthful and has so much energy and love and passion in her heart, and you can see it portrayed through her performance, especially in her eyes, how she looks at people. You can just feel it oozing through the screen. And then when the movie turns into color, it's a darker time in Mulligan's character's life. You can feel all this built-up negative energy and remorse in her heart all come out in this one scene that honestly was the best thing in this entire film. That is where Carey Mulligan's Oscar clip is and where her nomination will come from. Do I think she will win? I don't think so, and I think the same goes to Bradley Cooper. While this is such a bait performance, I just don't see the scene. I don't see the moment. We have Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer. I'm very excited to see Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction and Paul Giamatti and The Holdovers and Coleman Domingo and Rustin to see what the competition looks like. But if I was a voter, I would go with Cillian Murphy. But that does not mean Cooper is bad in this movie. He is so full of energy. He is channeling Leonard Bernstein, and that is remarkable. Carey Mulligan, she gets her moment to shine, but Bradley Cooper has this one scene towards the third act, and it's him conducting, and this is the highlight of the movie. His skills as a conductor, or at least his acting skills as a conductor, are in full force, and you are so engaged and entranced by this one scene. It lasts for about 4 or 5 minutes, and honestly, I wish more of Maestro had more Leonard Bernstein conducting, because those moments that are sprinkled out through the rest of the film, but on full force here, are truly remarkable. And then that's where the nominations get kind of confusing. Cinematography, definitely throw that one in there. Editing, sound, I'm not sure. Director's a no. In screenplay, you would think a Best Picture top 5, top 6 contender would be in for original screenplay, but I have this one on the outside looking in. But Maestro was a fine opening night film, and I'm very excited for the rest of the Virginia Film Festival. And that is a close to night 1 of the Virginia Film Festival.